All right, so let's look at another example. This one's a think, pair, share. So this is one for you to attempt. So go ahead and pause the video and resume when you're ready to see a solution to this problem. Okay, so this is, again, conditional probability of two events. Trying to keep it simple to understand the concept by just using the experiment of the single roll of a six-sided die. And so we've got two events, event A, which is going to be equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And event B is going to be an outcome of 3, 4, 5, and 6 on a six-sided die. So the question is, what is the probability of A given B occurs first? So let's provide a Venn diagram to support this work. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with this Venn diagram. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the sample space, kind of drawing that in. And in drawing this Venn diagram, it's going to be helpful to see which numbers are common. So event A has 3, 4, and 5 in it, and event B has 3, 4, and 5 in it. So let's see here. Event A is going to be sharing 3, 4, and 5 with B, and it's got 1 and 2. So here's event A. And then event B has 6 in addition to 3, 4, and 5. That's going to look like that, right? So we're trying to calculate the probability of A given that B occurs first. And so what that means is that with event B, occurring first, that's going to limit the outcomes of event A to outcomes in A, also in B. And because B occurs first, event B reduces the sample space down to B itself. All right. So since B occurs first, our sample space is going to contract to be B only, like that. So we've got the probability of A given B. It's going to be equal to the probability of A intersect B all over the probability of B. So event B here is in the denominator because it's replaced our sample space. The sample space has changed to be event B. And when we kind of rewrite the probability of A intersect B, that's going to be the order of A intersect B all over the order of the sample space. And the probability of B is the order of B over the order of the sample space. And what you'll notice is that the order of the sample space is in the denominator for both. So they can just be canceled. And this is where we get this formula for the probability of A given B is just the order of the intersection over the order of event B. Okay, so the probability of A given B is the order of A intersect B all over the order of B. And so how many elements do we have in the intersection? We've got 3. And how many elements do we have in B? We've got 4. Oops. We've got 4. Computer's having trouble keeping up. Okay. So the probability of A, given that B occurs first, it's 3/4, which is 0.75 or 75%. So in order to, calculate, this answer correctly, it really helps, one, to draw a Venn diagram. And it also is immensely important to start from the basic definition um, of the probability that you're trying to calculate and kind of progressing forward. So earlier, when I talked about calculating the probability of a skydiving death, and I said you could probably just put 21 over 3 million and get the answer that way. But that whole process that I used, drawing a Venn diagram, using the formula, determining the order of the event in the sample space, plugging that into the formula in order to get an answer, might have been a lot for that example, but you need to practice that process so that when you use it for something which isn't as simple, like this one, you can work it out all the way through and get an answer. Let me know if you have any questions.